Since none of his 4 children were willing to come home, the old man came up with an idea. He decided to travel across the entire United States to visit each of his 4 children and see how they were truly doing. Each time he reunited with one of them, he asked the same question.
You happy?
Yeah, of course I am.
When he heard that his eldest daughter was happy, the wrinkles at the corners of his eyes hid an indescribable joy. So when he faced his eldest son, he hoped to hear the same answer. Sure enough, his son also claimed to be happy. But the old man detected something in his son's eyes that told him otherwise. Both children had hesitated briefly before answering, making him feel they were lying. This left him confused. Why would his closest family choose to deceive him? To uncover the truth, Frank made plans with his 4 children to reunite on Thanksgiving. But an unexpected phone call shattered all his excitement. His eldest daughter said she was swamped with work and couldn't make it home for Thanksgiving. Though disappointed, Frank held on to hope. He still had 3 other children, but when he checked his voicemail, messages from the others awaited him. In the end, all 4 children canceled, each using work as an excuse. Frank was heartbroken. Since his wife passed away 8 months ago, after the children attended her funeral, not one of them had returned home. Standing in front of the mirror, overwhelmed by loneliness, he missed his children more than ever. After a moment of reflection, he made a bold decision. He would travel across America to visit each of them. To surprise them, he didn't tell anyone in advance. He wrote 4 letters, packed his bags, and set out on his journey. Before retiring, Frank had worked coating cables with protective layers. Years of labor had led to pulmonary fibrosis. When his doctor learned about his travel plans, he warned Frank to rest at home. Flying could be life-threatening given his condition, but Frank didn't follow the doctor's advice. If he couldn't fly, he'd take the train. After a long day of travel, he arrived at his youngest son David's doorstep. He had hoped to surprise him, but David wasn't home. Frank waited on the steps, hoping his son would return soon. He waited until late into the night, but David never showed. The cold steps left Frank tired and hungry. He decided to find a restaurant to eat. Passing by an art gallery, he noticed a painting in the window. It was signed by his son, David. For a moment, it was as if he could see young David riding his bicycle toward him. Later, at the restaurant, Frank met a man in his 90s who couldn't stop complaining. He had 3 children and 6 grandchildren, but they were always too busy to talk to him. If he wanted to see them, he had to make an appointment. Frank deeply related to the old man's words. Watching that lonely figure sitting in the corner, he felt a pang of sadness in his heart. Early the next morning, he returned to David's house, but once again, no one answered the door. Heartbroken and unsure where his son had gone, Frank slipped the letter he had written under the door. Then he boarded a bus and headed to his next destination, to visit his eldest daughter, Amy. He felt uneasy, still worried about her, unsure how she was really doing.